The auditorium is a Roman piazza. Some people think opera is just for the elite, but these performances are enjoyed by children on cushions, grandmas in folding chairs, and friends sitting back enjoying pizza and beer. This is no amateur production. It's produced by the prestigious Opera House of Rome, providing professional opera singers and musicians. This is the 4th season of Opera for the People, and the crowds get larger each year.
What a great idea.
I don't think anything can be more Roman, more Italian than this. So many fantastic Italian operas. It is a great idea. And don't forget, Opera in the Park is coming up in a couple weeks.
That's right.
That's our time for now. We thank you for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, why a former employee of the Sun Prairie Area School District has been arrested.
And if you were impacted by the shooting at the Shake the Lake fireworks over the weekend, we'll tell you what services are available to you.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us at 5. Police are continuing to investigate a former Sun Prairie Area School District employee after he was arrested on child exploitation charges today.
Michael A. Johnson, employed as a youth advocate, is accused of sending inappropriate messages and photos to a 16-year-old. Our Madeline O'Neill has been following this story and joins us live now from outside the Sun Prairie High School, where Johnson worked for the last year. Maddie?
Mark and Susan, the Sun Prairie Area School District is telling parents in a letter tonight that Johnson, a contracted employee, well, he doesn't have any duties in the district over the summer. There is an order in place keeping him off of school property, and now that's been in place since the investigation began late last week. Sun Prairie police tell us school district personnel discovered Johnson's alleged inappropriate behavior and called law enforcement right away. Since the information involved a minor, police say detectives worked aggressively to investigate Johnson, executing a search warrant in his Madison home this morning. They took electronics like laptops, phones, and tablets to investigate the claims of explicit photos and messages with the student. Police say if they have one message for parents tonight, it's this.
You're still the parent. Look at that cell phone every once in a while. Do a random audit of the cell phone. But check to see what's going on with your child. Be involved in what they're doing, because, you know, there's a whole range with social media that we're seeing, you know, not only with crimes like this, but with bullying.
Johnson is jailed on the felony charges of using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime and sexual exploitation of a child, although police say more charges may come out of the investigation. And they say, well, there's no indications of more victims in this case at this time. That is something they often find in similar investigations. Police say they'll release more information as it becomes available. And of course, we'll keep you updated. Mark and Susan.
All right, Madeline O'Neill live in Sun Prairie. Thank you.
The Wisconsin Department of Military Affairs is releasing more information about the worker who was killed during an accident at Volk Field Air National Guard Base near Camp Douglas. The agency says 40-year-old maintenance specialist Nicholas Jans died while performing his duties at the base. A DMA spokeswoman said Jans was replacing light bulbs on a runway when he touched what appeared to have been a live electrical source. Jans had been employed as a civilian at the DMA since 2010. He resided in Warrens, Wisconsin with his wife and 3 children.
A 17-year-old Dodgeville boy is in the hospital after falling from a moving car in the village of Livingston on Saturday. The Grant County Sheriff's Office was called to North Grand Street near the intersection of West Sampson Street Saturday afternoon. Officials say 17-year-old Isaac Albo was driving his Jeep with 5 other people in the vehicle when he lost control in the gravel. Deputies say 17-year-old Dalton Seaforth stood on the Jeep's rear bumper and was holding onto the roll bars. He lost his balance and fell off after Albo drove through the gravel. He suffered major injuries, lost consciousness, and was airlifted to UW-Madison.
If you witnessed the shooting at Shake the Lake over the weekend, you might be experiencing some lasting impacts from the trauma.
The Dane County District Attorney's Office is offering trauma response specialists to help you process the situation. Rose Schmidt is here to explain the symptoms and steps to take as a result. Rose?
Yes, well, I spoke with a local psychologist today. She tells me that after experiencing a shooting or another traumatic event, someone could get stuck in the fight or flight response for days or even weeks. The shooting after the Shake the Lake fireworks show involved many parents experiencing that trauma along with their children. Dr. Lisa Baker says witnessing a shooting can cause someone's heart rate to get faster, affect their appetite, and cause them to have trouble sleeping. Those can all be signs it's time to seek professional help. So why does this happen? Dr. Baker says some of it has to do with the climate surrounding mass shootings.
Our children throughout the year are doing drills for the possibility of a mass shooting. So everyone is sort of on guard. And if you hear shots, in my mind, and what I've heard from others, is that that's where people's mind can go.
If this is happening to you after experiencing the shooting or the aftermath, she recommends making sure you're taking care of your physical, social, and emotional needs and staying with a routine. She also recommends that anyone heavily impacted by the shooting limit the amount of TV or other media that they watch, because that could be a trigger of secondary trauma. And if you or your child were at Shake the Lake, please call the DA's crime response team. The number is on your screen, and it's on our website as well, channel3000.com.
There is help out there.
Definitely, and they want to make sure that anybody who was affected by this knows that they have help for them.
It's a very scary situation.
Definitely.
Rose, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Let's get to weather now. Gary Canalti is out on the weather patio. Gary?
Pretty steamy out here. Temperatures have been up around the 90-degree mark. The humidity levels have been high, and we have the possibility for some thunderstorms. In fact, some have been developing over parts of our viewing area. You can see this on visible cloud track across parts of southern Wisconsin. As we put the clouds into motion, you can see those thunderstorms just to the north and west of Madison. Right now, it looks like some strong cells in the northwestern portion of Sauk County around Reedsburg. Also, some storms north of Beaver Dam in Dodge County. These are generally traveling toward the east-southeast, but you can see how much of the viewing area has no rain at all. And this will be a situation where some people will get some heavy downpours and other people will miss out altogether. We're at 89 right now in Madison. We were at 90 last hour, but Janesville's still at 90. It's 90 degrees in Boscobel. The heat index right now feels like it's in the lower 90s. So look for temperatures to only drop into the lower 70s overnight. Tomorrow, look for highs in the mid-80s with another chance of afternoon thunderstorms. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. A man accused of driving drunk and killing a Milwaukee police officer has pleaded not guilty to felony charges. 34-year-old Dante James is charged in the crash that killed Officer Kuher last month. The 27-year-old officer was on his way home when he was hit at an intersection. According to charges, James drank shots and beer before he got behind the wheel and blew through the red light. James is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle, hit and run involving death, and operating while revoked, causing death.
BNSF Railway is working to clear a train derailment in Grant County that was caused by a mudslide. Heavy rain and flash flooding in the area yesterday caused 9 empty cars to derail near Glen Haven, including one that plunged into the nearby Mississippi River. A BNSF spokeswoman says crews are making repairs to the tracks, which may be returned to service later today. No one was injured as a result of the derailment. Grant County deputies say the Glen Haven boat landing, including the docks, will be closed until the 4th of July or until the train derailment is cleaned up.
Sub-Zero is expanding its operations. The company, which manufactures refrigeration, cooking, and dishwashing appliances, says it'll be building a 350,000 square foot research and development facility in Fitchburg. The $70 million project expected to create 100 jobs over the next 3 years.
Wisconsin's Supreme Court says drunk drivers who consent to a blood draw cannot stop the state crime lab from analyzing the sample. The Supreme Court ruled 5-1 that defendants arrested for drunken driving have no privacy interest in the amount of alcohol in their blood, so consent for the test is not necessary.
Well, the developer who planned to tear down the Essen House and some other buildings on Wilson Street has backed out of the project.
It would have created an apartment building and commercial space, but because the area is one of Madison's historic districts, there are specific standards that need to be met. Our Amanda Quintana is on Wilson Street with what will happen to the Essen House now. Amanda?
Yes, well, this is the heart of what's considered the first settlement district, and that's basically where Madison was created. Now, with that comes some specific design needs and constraints if you're trying to develop in this area. And people have been trying to develop here for more than 10 years, trying to find some kind of design that would meet those needs and constraints, but it hasn't happened yet. Now, the latest developer, Lance McGrath, has also pulled out. But Bob Worm, the longtime owner of the buildings here, says he's confident the area will be developed in the future, and whether they want to keep the Popular Bar or tear it down, that will be up to them.
The passion of the person doing the development, if he wants to keep some of these buildings or if he wants to demolish them and start over. So it depends upon what we can all work together with.
At last week's meeting, the Landmarks Commission looked at the project and had concerns, but the commission chair says they didn't vote to reject it, but rather said the way it was, it didn't seem like it would work. Now, both the commission chair and Bob Worm tell me that they are pretty confident that at some time a developer will come and bring a project that meets all of the needs of this historic area.
Amanda Quintana live downtown. Amanda, thank you. The United States women's national soccer team is headed to the World Cup finals after defeating England today 2-1. Alex Morgan scored the game-winning goal on her 30th birthday. Alyssa Nair had a huge save on a penalty kick to clinch the victory. The United States will face the winner of the Netherlands or Sweden in the finals on Sunday. They are the first team in Women's World Cup history to reach 3 straight finals.
Wow, congratulations to them. In more local news, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is shutting down construction projects ahead of the holiday weekend. Starting tomorrow at noon, all major DOT projects are suspended until next Monday morning. DOT officials say it's a way to cut down on crashes and injuries during the heavily congested holiday. Local authorities say if you are in an accident, pull off the highway if you can to prevent further crashes.
Wisconsin has a steer it clear law where if you can move your vehicle safely, please do so. Get it out of traffic, take it to a next exit if you have to, then call the police so we can respond.
Last year, there were 5 roadway deaths in the state on the 4th of July, including one in Dane County. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, the family reunion of a lifetime. How this family found each other will have you. How this family found each other will have you on the edge of your seats.
And coming up tonight at 6, a Janesville man catches a man attempting to break into his home on his doorbell camera. We'll talk with the homeowner who was inside when it happened.
And on Wall Street, a record-setting day. The Dow Industrials record closed at 26,786. The NASDAQ was up 17. The S&P 500 up 8. We'll be right back. Well, imagine going your entire life not knowing your biological parents and then finding one of them after 50 years of searching.
That is exactly what happened to one family who met for the first time this afternoon at the Dane County Airport. Our Jamie Perez was there to capture the emotional moment on camera. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, emotional it was, and I hope you guys have tissues around, like somewhere around here, because you're definitely going to need them. The story is absolutely incredible. I'm so happy that everyone actually gets to see this moment on our newscast, because this is a family reunion like no other. July 2nd, 2019. It's a day LaVaniel McMurray will always remember.
It has been over 50 years. It's about time. They've been looking for me all this time. You know?
LaVaniel is about to meet his kids that he never knew he had for the first time.
I just don't know what to expect. I'm looking forward to it, though.
Having never met them before, LaVaniel only has these photos he got just weeks ago to go off of.
And this is her when she was younger. And this is her daughter, which her daughter's in the Navy. She's been in the Navy 13 years.
When LaVaniel was about 18 years old, he went overseas to serve in Vietnam. While he was there, he was involved with a woman who became pregnant. LaVaniel never knew she was expecting, and they never kept in contact. The kids, who are twins, were given up for adoption by the mother when they were 3 days old. 50 years later, they're all meeting in person for the first time.
Hey. How you doing? Y'all doing?
This is what it looks like to not know your real father for decades, to embrace each other for the first time.
I didn't see you.
Ty and her brother have lived with adoptive families their entire lives. Ty says she grew up with one loving family. Her brother there on the left went through about 5 families. Ty and her brother were able to connect with each other when they were 26 years old.
I found because I come into the country. In 1990, I come here. In 1997, I go home. And we stop by the orphanage to visiting, and he come the same time I do. We visiting the same time, and that's where we met each other.
Like it was meant to be. It took several more decades and an account with Ancestry.com for Ty to link up with her biological father.
They told me to looking for my father, and I never think my father's still alive.
My brother down in Atlanta, he was on Facebook, so they had hooked up on Facebook, you know. And then she called me.
A phone call that would forever change this family's lives.
So exciting. I'm very excited because I think I never had family. But now God had given me this big family, man.
A big family. One they will spend the rest of their lives getting to know.
I love you.
I'm so happy to meet you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. My dad right now. I got daddy now. I got daddy.
LaVaniel, Ty, and her brother Tam all have families of their own. They plan to have some more reunions where everyone can meet in the future. Ty said she is still looking for her mom. She knows her name, but was never able to track her down like she was with the rest of her family. So maybe one day she will find her as well, and they'll have another big family reunion where everyone in the family can meet.
What an incredible day.
It's incredible, yeah.
It really is. How they all got together again.
I know, it's insane.
Power of the internet, right?
Yeah, seriously.
And DNA.
Yeah.
Jamie, thanks for sharing.
You, sure.
Let's get a look at your first alert weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is standing by. Hi, Gary.
Pretty steamy out there right now. Temperatures are in the upper 80s and lower 90s for the most part through much of southern Wisconsin. It has cooled off a little bit where some showers and thunderstorms have been moving through the eastern portion of the state. Temperatures have dropped there into the 70s. But take a look at these dew point temperatures. They're in the upper 60s to the lower 70s, so the atmosphere just kind of loaded with moisture. But the thunderstorms right now are pretty spotty. You can see the heat index right now feels like it's 91 in Lone Rock, 97 in Boscobel, 93 in Madison, and 95 degrees in Janesville. Is there any temporary relief from the heat by thunderstorms? Well, you can see some thunderstorms have developed in the north central part of our viewing area and then have headed more toward the Milwaukee area. They've developed pretty quickly into big storms. You can see on Doppler track here, for some reason, there we go. Here's the latest storms. You can see some strong thunderstorms in the central portion of Sauk County, right around Reedsburg, and then also some stronger thunderstorms just north of Beaver Dam, and then others just to the in the far eastern or western portions of Waukesha. Waukesha County, but notice the general movement toward the east-southeast, and there's a lot of areas that aren't seeing any rain at all. So some people will get heavy downpours, maybe some brief gusty winds, and other people will miss out on the storms altogether. A little wider radar perspective. These storms are kind of in an area where there's a stationary front that divides slightly less humid air to the north to warmer and to hot, more humid air to the south. And you can kind of make out that line meandering through southern Wisconsin and back into parts of Iowa. Future radar over the next couple of hours shows the best chances for thunderstorms drifting south of Madison. Areas north of town will probably see those chances end pretty quickly. Most of these storms will be over with probably by about midnight. Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms. It's possible there could be an isolated storm with gusty winds and some heavy rain. Already there have been a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings close to Lake Michigan, but nothing across our viewing area. Tomorrow there's a marginal risk, especially to our south and west, but covering far southwestern Wisconsin. Again, high winds and heavy rain would be the main threats. It's so warm, the hail, a lot of that melts before it reaches the ground. As far as rainfall is concerned, this is through Friday. The next couple of days we'll be looking at thunderstorm chances, but again, not everybody will see them on any given day. So you add it all together, probably about an inch of rain through much of southern Wisconsin. And then after that, we have some dry weather shaping up for the weekend. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. More sunshine there. You can see a couple of buildups of clouds. A few more clouds from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the west. As we check out our almanac for today here in Madison, our high temperature is hit 90 degrees, low temperature at 71. Right now, we're still at 89 degrees, but you factor in a humidity of 50%. Heat index makes it feel like it's 93 degrees. Temperatures range from around 90 in southern Wisconsin and much of northern Illinois to the mid-80s to the north. So not a big drop in the temperatures, but the humidity levels are a little bit less in the northern portion of the state. So for tonight, look for variably cloudy skies, mild and muggy. Could see some fog toward morning, maybe a shower or thunderstorm, especially south of Madison this evening with a low of 69. Tomorrow, partly sunny, warm and humid, high temperature at 84. Could see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms pop up. As we take a look at future track, the threat for thunderstorms will end this evening. Look for some areas of fog overnight, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, we see the thunderstorm chances pop up in the afternoon, but a lot of breaks in between them, highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow night, you can see the thunderstorm chances go away, and we repeat the process for the 4th of July with some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, but not an all-day rain. High temperatures mid to upper 80s, and rainfall amounts probably around an inch over the next couple of days before the rain ends for the weekend. 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures drop a little bit for the weekend, but more importantly, the humidity goes away, leading to some dry weather Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Some thunderstorm chances from Tuesday afternoon into early Wednesday of next week, and another drop in humidity toward the end of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, the Beltline not looking too hot around Park Street. Slowdowns in both directions. The heat probably has something to do with it. Also have a stalled vehicle on the Beltline near Gammon Road, not affecting traffic too much in that area, but most of the delays are between, say, Fish Hatchery Road and around West Broadway. Right now, 23 minutes on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate. A little longer in the westbound direction, 28 minutes back toward University Avenue. And then heading out of Madison, 27 minutes to Janesville on I-3990, 22 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and an even 20 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert Traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, lawmakers sound the alarm about conditions at border detention facilities. That's after a short break.
Protesters gathered in cities across the nation today, urging President Trump to release migrants who are now in custody. The demonstrators hit the streets just one day after Congressman Joaquin Castro shot cell phone video inside one of the numerous detention centers holding migrants. He says some migrants have been denied medication and showers. A new Department of Homeland Security Inspector General report out today details dangerous overcrowding conditions at several facilities in the Rio Grande Valley, some lacking access to showers and hot meals for children.
A House committee has filed a lawsuit in federal court seeking President Donald Trump's tax returns. The lawsuit was filed today. The committee says it does not have to explain its reasons for seeking Trump's tax return information. The committee says it's investigating tax law compliance by the president, among other things. Chicago police took 7 people into custody overnight after vandals defaced the Bean at Millennium Park and the Cancer Survivors Garden at Maggie Daley Park. Police responded to a trespassing call in Millennium Park just after midnight on Tuesday morning and found the Bean covered in graffiti. The Tigers also defaced a memorial wall in the Cancer Survivors Garden at the Daley Park, as well as benches and walls throughout other parks. Charges are pending. And we'll have another check of the weather when we come back.
Good evening from New York. Here's a look at some of the stories our team is working on right now. Federal investigators have made a surprise visit to border facilities down south. The details and images of what they found are disturbing. We're going to tell you why one senior official calls it a ticking time bomb. Also, President Trump's elaborate plan for what he calls a salute to America. It's happening on the 4th of July, involving fighter jets and tanks. And we'll end tonight with how a family tragedy inspired these sisters to share the gift of life. We'll see you tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Oh, we know what it's like to live in Miami now.
Yeah, well, it's steamy out there, and there are some thunderstorms, but they're pretty widely scattered. You can see there's some heavy downpours. One south of Verona, looks like another one central Sauk County around Reedsburg, and then a couple more in Jefferson County, but a lot of dry areas in there as well.
All right, keep an eye on the sky if you're heading out. We'll see you back here at 6. Thanks for watching.